Boar's Head is bringing a slice of Japan to the deli. Introducing Boar's Head Ichiban Teriyaki-style chicken. Tender, slow-roasted chicken breast, coated in our signature teriyaki glaze, where ginger, garlic, and a hint of brown sugar meet for a flavor that's both sweet and savory. New Boar's Head Ichiban Teriyaki-style chicken. The bold flavor of Japan. Now at the deli. Only from Boar's Head. Compromise elsewhere.
Blog Talk Radio.
Well, good evening, folks, and thank you for tuning in with me once again to another edition of True Conservative Radio. And, of course, I am your host, the man they call Ghost. And once again, folks, I want to thank you very much for tuning in with me. I know that the last broadcast was literally yesterday, but of course a lot of things have come into the news as of late, so I felt it necessary to conduct another broadcast. I can see we already have a bunch of live listeners here in the chat room, and if you happen to be listening to me live, by all means, before we get on with the program, I'd like for you to follow me on Twitter. That is the best way to find out when I'm going to do these sporadic broadcasts, so you can be here with us in the live chat room conducting some discourse during the True Conservative Commentary. Once again, the Twitter name is Ghost Politics. That's all one word, no underscores, Ghost Politics. And, of course, folks, if you haven't already done it, please bookmark the official damn webpage of the True Conservative Radio Show, and that's blogtalkradio.com/ghost. And while I'm at it, since I'm sitting over here spewing out a bunch of plugging matters, let's go ahead and put down the blog, because I'm going to be updating that as frequently as possible. That's ghostpolitics.blogspot.com. Anyway, folks, this is I don't necessarily want to call it a special edition of the True Conservative Radio Show, but I wasn't planning on having a show this evening. But since we're having the liberal propaganda machine, to try to put it in a lighter sense, all right, they're trying to spew out this propaganda because of Ted Kennedy. Now, for all you folks that didn't know, or if you were tuning into the program yesterday, you would have been the first one to have heard that Ted Kennedy passed away due to his complications with brain cancer. And we all heard back in the beginning of the year sometime that this man was suffering from this ailment. And we're going to talk about the ramifications of Ted Kennedy and his loss, not only as far as American history is concerned, but what his loss means to the current American political system. And we're going to get into some very serious discourse about it. But before we do, I feel that I'm obligated, considering that these damn liberals are trying to kind of shove this fairness doctrine in one of these bill amendments right underneath the noses of the American people. I just deem it necessary, before I become critical of a man who just recently deceased, I feel like I should commemorate some of his, I don't know, more good qualities, all right? Now, we all know that Ted Kennedy was a memorable figure. He's the last remaining member of, quote-unquote, Camelot. We all know the legacy that his brothers left back in the 1900s, because we are in the 2000s. I don't want to talk about 1900s as if it was a long time ago, but we are living in a new century. And here within the past 30 years, he has somehow carved his way into political history. He was known as the liberal lion, which wants to, just by saying that, just by acknowledging that name, makes me want to, choke up the damn barbecue sandwich that I had earlier this evening. And let me tell you something, just thinking about it is giving me heartburn from the damn sauce I consumed with that piece of crap. But that's besides the point. They called this man the liberal lion, and he was, you know, I don't know. I mean, I guess he was for the people, you know, I guess. I don't know. I'm trying to be nice here, people, because believe me, I'm going to tear everyone affiliated with this liberal regime a new one in here, and that includes this man who was recently deceased. But before we get to that, we're trying to get to the positives, folks. We're trying to get to the positives, and you happen to be a liberal long hair and you want to, you know, go ahead and throw in some of his positives. Go ahead, 646-652-4869. Go ahead and throw in some of his positives. But what else was he? You know, I mean, I guess he was a liberal. I mean, he was you know, one of the good liberals. He was a bipartisan liberal. I don't know. If you want my personal opinion, folks, it's just, you know, another bureaucrat. You know? Another bureaucrat who was born a rich kid. I mean, I'm not trying to be, you know, I'm not trying to be disgusting in any manner, but I'm sincerely trying to get across that Senator Ted Kennedy had good qualities here. And I think we got a couple of callers. Maybe they can chime in with, you know, some of their great memories of the great Ted Kennedy, the liberal lion, as he liked to be called, the liberal lion. 1111, you're on the air. You there? Hello?
Yeah, what's going on?
Yeah, how's it going?
Man, it's going.
So, you got anything to say about the liberal lion, Ted Kennedy, dying out here? Are you one of these liberals that are going to try to give me something good to say about the man?
No, I'm trying to figure out what's going on. I mean, me and my buddy are trying to figure out how much what is the true statistic on the cash for clunkers thing going on?
What's the true statistic for the cash for clunkers thing going on? What are you talking about?
Well, I mean, I know are we 2 billion in debt right now because of that?
Yeah, well, of course. What difference does it make? It was a sidebar amendment in the Stimulus Package 2 bill that somehow caught wind with the American people because they scraped up the last of their beans that they have after they got foreclosed and got their cars repossessed about a couple of years ago. And now that the government gave a little program for $4,500 for grandma's old Lincoln Continental from 1983 that's on cement, all of a sudden they go out and where this credit for new cars are coming from, I don't know, but I think it's a bunch of malarkey, and we've already pretty much taken a dirty yellow bubbly piss on the idea of cash for clunkers or cash for junkers or whatever you want to call it.
Now, what do you think has a better chance of rising in this terrible economy, the housing market or, you know, what we're doing for the economy in the car department?
I don't think anything is going to happen in a positive note. You're going to see at least, minimum, 4-year stagnation because we are doing so much spending. We are printing out so much money and we are giving out so much money to different variants of people and corporations and nonprofit organizations and so on and so forth that we are seeing inflation at rapid rates. I don't know if you're seeing it in your part of the country, sir, but you're going to continue to see inflation because of all these liberal ideas that we're being pushed forth here. Now, I know I don't want to get off on a tirade. I don't want to get off on a sidebar here. We are talking about Ted Kennedy. Do you happen to, you know, have anything favorable to say about Ted Kennedy?
Oh, no, that was it, Ghost. You know, just checking in, man. I was just waiting to try to get on a little bit, but I got in a little bit later than I expected. But that was it, man.
No, it's okay. So, what do you think about Ted Kennedy? Before you go, give us a few words about Ted Kennedy in your perspective.
You know, I'm 27 years old, so you know, as far as knowing, you know, too much about him, I probably should know more, but I don't. So I don't know. I'm just kind of new to everything. Just kind of you know, lived in Europe for a while, so you know, I'm back in the States, and that's, you know, just kind of adjusting, I guess, to this, you know, economy crisis we got here.
Seriously, it's a serious economy crisis, considering that we have a service industry-based economy that's contracting, and we're losing jobs, heading towards 10% unemployment, and our education system is failing to create productive graduates so they can go out here and spawn some sort of innovation. we got a lot of things wrong, sir, and, you know, it's really unfortunate that we're living in this time and we're allowing these things to happen. Hello? Well, he must have hung up. Anyway, I want to thank that young man for calling, and keep listening, by the way, sir, if you're listening in. I really appreciate your patronage, and I understand that you said that you came back from Europe, so welcome back. But, folks, not to get off of the subject, we were talking about Ted Kennedy and Senator Ted Kennedy's death that happened last evening. If you happen to be tuning into the True Conservative radio program at that time, we broadcasted it at the minute it was announced. And we're talking about Ted Kennedy right now, staying true with the liberal piece of garbage fairness doctrine that these damn liberals are trying to slip in every damn amendment they can in the House and the Senate out there. What we're going to try to do here is we're trying to conjure up positive comments about Ted Kennedy. You know, before I start being critical about the man, before I start becoming critical about his regime, I'm trying to conjure up positive comments about the great liberal lion, you know. I know that he was a big medical healthcare industry reformer, although if he was so critical about reforming the medical industry, he would have been the first one to be out there saying we don't need the damn insurance companies in the healthcare industry. And what I mean by the health insurance companies, I'm talking about patient insurance. There should be no patient insurance, but nobody wants to talk about that. Nobody wants to approach that debate because, we're going to put some bureaucrats and corporate America out of work if we somehow negate the idea of patient insurance. Anyway, I'm not supposed to be talking negative about it. I'm supposed to be talking positive. Help me out here, folks. I'm sitting here, I'm pitching curveballs, and they're going out in the left field. Give me a call, 646-652-4869. We're trying to say something positive about Ted Kennedy because the man just died last evening because of brain cancer. And before we become critical about him and his regime, I am attempting with legitimate effort to say some positive and good, inspiring words about the man before we, become critical. Now, I said that, one of the good things about him is, I don't know, I mean, he's a liberal, I guess. I mean, he's a big liberal. I mean, no pun intended, but I'm trying to think, all right, folks? Before we start ripping up and dissecting this man's history, I am trying to somehow live up to the fairness doctrine, even though I'm not trying to bow down to it. I just want everyone out there to get a whiff of what this would sound like if we had these godless, atheistic, long-haired liberals asserting their authoritarianism on us, trying to assert their fairness doctrine upon us. It's ridiculous, folks. Anyway, I'm trying to say some good things about Ted Kennedy. 646-652-4869. We got the 347 area code. You're on the air.
Hello.
How's it going?
I'm good. You?
I'm not doing too bad. What's going on? Do you have anything positive to say? Can you help me out here about this Ted Kennedy?
Ted Kennedy?
Yeah, what do you think about Ted Kennedy?
Dude. I don't think I have anything positive to say about him.
Why don't you have anything positive to say? I'm just curious.
Because it's about Michael Jackson.
Oh, it's about Michael Jackson? You care more about Michael Jackson than you do about Ted Kennedy?
Yeah.
Really? What do you give us some information about Michael Jackson since you called up, having a circle jerk about him?
He moonwalks.
He moonwalks. Yeah. How old are you, by the way?
25.
You're 25, and you're fascinated by a man who used to inject himself with anesthesia to get high.
Don't talk about him.
I'm not supposed to talk about him?
No.
I mean, come on. Look, I know that, you're tickling your dingleberry-ridden ass crack thinking about Michael Jackson, but let's stop talking about Michael Jackson. We're talking about Ted Kennedy, the liberal lion here, and we like to see...
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares about the liberal lion? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Why don't you care about the liberal lion, given the fact that you're one of these youngins that were bowing down to the liberal regime before this presidential election here?
No.
Are you taking a dump? What, are you talking to me from the can or something? What's going on over there? Hello? Well, there must be something wrong over there. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and let them get to whatever they're getting to. Anyway, folks, I'd like your help. 646-652-4869. We're going to get critical about Ted Kennedy and the Democrats and the liberal regime that's in power here in just a second. I am trying to conjure up some positive and good things to say about Ted Kennedy out here, given the fact that the man just died last night due to brain cancer, and I'm trying to, stick my hand out to folks that are listening in live to the program to see if they can somehow conjure up something positive to say. The things that I've only come up with is, I don't know, he's a good liberal? I'm just trying to think here. I just don't understand. Well, the thing about it is, folks, is that I kind of anticipated, all right? I kind of anticipated that I wouldn't have anything positive to say about Ted Kennedy. Not to say that I hated Ted Kennedy personally, because I didn't know the man. You didn't know the man. So you can't necessarily say that you hate the man or whatever. It's just his politics is just completely out the window. It was just completely berserk, completely communistic, if you want my personal opinion. All right, now, I mean, I don't know the man personally, so there's really nothing good to say. Maybe, I guess he was comforting towards tragic times that happened to grace his family, I assume. But once again, folks, I anticipated me stumbling over my own tongue in an attempt to try to provide some kind of good commentary or at least highlight some good points of Ted Kennedy. So I actually hired a liberal. That's right. I actually hired a liberal to actually get up on the program and see if they can somehow conjure up something good, something positive, something joyous about the liberal lion himself, Ted Kennedy. And let me tell you, when I put this ad out for, and let me tell you, it had to be spur of the moment. Ted Kennedy, he did just die last evening. I put an ad out saying I need a liberal to be put on the program in hopes of providing some sort of positive discourse about Ted Kennedy. Well, I've got this liberal. I know this is going to sound obnoxious, but when this person approached me with the notion, I thought it was kind of an amusing idea, and yet a heartfelt idea. This is someone who actually wanted to sing something in reminiscence of Ted Kennedy. That's right. He wanted to actually sing something in reminiscence of Ted Kennedy, so I'm not even going to say anything else. I don't even know how to introduce this crap. But without further ado, this person is only going to be here, for this part of the show and this part of the show only. Without further ado, Paul, you wanted to sing a song, Paul? Is that correct? Oh, I don't have him on the line here. Anyway, without further ado, I think he's kind of shy. Paul, everybody, singing some reminiscent thoughts about Ted Kennedy. Go ahead, Paul, you liberal piece of trash.
Oh, Teddy, where did you go? We need you more than ever, because you were the liberal lion that we all wanted to back us up for the health care bill. We needed you for the health care bill, and we needed you, and we love you, Teddy. Come back to me, Teddy. Teddy. Come back, Teddy. We love you, Teddy.
I think he's finished. Anyway, that was the song. And for all you folks that missed it, that was Paul the Liberal. I don't know if that was positive or what the hell it was, but that was an attempt at providing some sort of positive commentary towards Ted Kennedy. Now that we've gotten all that liberalistic, fairness doctrine garbage out of the way, now we're going to talk about Ted Kennedy, and we're going to talk about the liberal regime right now. Now, the thing about Ted Kennedy, not only does this death come at a real abrupt time in American political history, because right now, folks, we're having the health care debate. That's right, we are having the health care debate, and who was a pivotal man, a pivotal voice, somebody who always stood for the sake of the people, quote unquote, when it came to health care? Well, none other than, like what Paul just said, Teddy Kennedy. And you see, folks, by Ted Kennedy dying at such an abrupt time, that leaves the liberal regime vulnerable more than ever. That's right, folks, because you see, they don't have a super filibuster overriding majority. Do you understand what that means, folks? Because of Ted Kennedy kicking the bucket, all right, buying the farm, this leaves the Democrats and the liberal regime vulnerable. Because remember, before Ted Kennedy died, folks, you had Chuck Schumer, that stupid scumbag, and Nancy Pelosi, and all these other liberals trying to tout that they don't need the Republicans, that they don't need anybody to pass this health care bill, because they have a supermajority. And what the hell does a supermajority mean? That if the Republicans attempt to filibuster this health care bill, that they can override the Republican filibuster because they have the 60 votes. The 60 votes to override a filibuster. But because of Ted Kennedy, the liberal lion, because he lost his fighting bout with brain cancer, now the liberals got to talk a different tune, folks. Don't you understand that? I don't understand why there's not better Republican strategists out here trying to get the Republicans back on the saddle and strike right now. The liberals are at their most vulnerable. And folks, if you don't believe me, why don't you go take a YouTube search or wherever in the hell you get your dumbass video media on the internet, and take a look at how cocky these stupid liberal pieces of long-haired crap were when talking about this health care bill passing through the Senate, passing through the House. They talked about it as if they was brushing their shoulders off, as if they were some pimp in a mink coat or something. That ain't no thing, baby. We gonna get that passed, no doubt. You want to know why? Because they thought they had the supermajority. And this is very precarious for the liberals. The liberals are going to have to negotiate. They're going to have to negotiate with the Republicans. And this does not mean that a better health care bill is going to be concocted, all right, because the Democrats and the liberal regime lost their supermajority vote. This does not mean that. What this means is there's going to be some pork and barrel spending on top of this ridiculous so-called health care reform. That's right, because what these liberals were planning on doing prior to the liberal lion's death, they were planning on putting their ultra-liberal ideological health care system on paper. They were going to run it through the House, they were going to run it through the Senate, and if the damn Republicans attempted to filibuster in the Senate, they would override their filibuster with the supermajority vote of 60 senators to override a filibuster, folks. And this is exactly what they were talking about doing. You had Chuck Schumer talking about it, that piece of crap. You had Nancy Pelosi talking all this garbage, that they don't need the Republicans. Now, folks, right now, because Teddy Kennedy decided to kick the bucket, we need the American people to be more vigilant and to be more on top of their politicians. Because right now, the liberals are at their most vulnerable. We talked about, once again, I hate to keep rehashing old news, but it's very pivotal to what's happening here in present-day America. We had Bill Clinton go to North Korea, get those 2 idiot journalists out of there, and on top of getting those 2 idiot journalists, he negotiated the nuclear deal with, or reinstated an old nuclear deal with North Korea, and reassured North Korea that the United States was going to fulfill its obligations based on that deal. And this is a man, Bill Clinton, that did this as a private citizen. Obama and his administration had no idea that Bill Clinton was going to go out there to North Korea. Had no idea. And you see, Bill Clinton did that under the disguise of getting 2 journalists out of there, but when in actuality, he was rendering Obama impotent when it comes to international foreign relations. All right? Now Obama's writing everything. He has gone all in on this health care plan, so he's got to pass something. He's got to pass something that he can sell off as reform. I mean, he's going to have to do something. And what's really unfortunate is because they lost this supermajority vote because of Teddy Kennedy's death, this means that they're going to have to sit here and make negotiation deals with certain politicians. And that means maybe kicking some porks over here, maybe kicking some pork over there, and before you know it, they'll go ahead and overtake that either supermajority vote or have a majority vote when it comes to voting for the damn bill itself. Now, I know this sounds like a bunch of double-talking mumbo-jumbo, but that's how this American political system works, folks. And I think that everyone right now in America, particularly in this horrific recession and forecastic stagnation, I think that we should be very vigilant of what is happening here in America when it comes to our power-hungry autocrats that are in Washington dictating our lives. I think we need to be very vigilant. 646-652-4869 is the number to call here. You got another caller here from the 435 area code. 435, you're on the air here.
Hey, Ghost, it's me, TC.
Hey, how's it going there, Thunder? How you doing this evening?
Doing pretty good.
It's good to see you again. So what do you think about Teddy Kennedy?
Well, I can't think of anything right off good that he did. I mean, like I said, he was a little before my time. I'm into the 70s child, but you know, he's pretty close. He was pretty close friends with our state senator, Orrin Hatch. Those two are pretty close, and he's a Republican.
Well, you know, like I said, he was the liberal lion that was able to supposedly bring bipartisanship together based on his, I don't know, talking and negotiating skills or something. So I guess that's one positive thing that we can say. What do you think about the idea that the Democrats no longer have the supermajority to supersede the Republican dissent when it comes to this health care bill? Now what do you think the Democrats are going to do?
Oh, I'm sure they'll do anything they can to get the majority back. You know, they'll do anything to achieve their goals. You know, I wouldn't put it past them.
You're damn right they're going to do anything. I mean, are you happy with what's being proposed out here? This public option and you know, all this other malarkey that these damn liberals are trying to push forth as a supposed health reform bill?
No way, I'm not.
I hear you there, Thunder. Do you have anything you want to plug, Thunder? You got any shows or anything?
Nope, but I heard in a show previous that Obama wants to devalue 9/11 and call it a day of service, and quite frankly, I'm outraged at it.
Really? I mean, is this a legitimate story, or is it hoopla? Well, I mean, this is pretty a sensitive story if this is true.
It is legitimate. If you ever get a chance, listen to Bill English Plain English on Archives. This show came on about a couple of hours ago, and just listen to that show, and he will tell you what's going on with 9/11.
So you mean to tell me that Obama actually wants to devalue 9/11 as a day of remembrance? What does he want to just ignore it and it'll go away or something?
I think something to that matter, yes.
Unbelievable. Unbelievably sick. Anyway, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be quiet after that, but after you hear something like that, I mean, what are you supposed to say, right, Thunder?
correct.
Unbelievable. Anyway, Thunder, I'm going to go ahead. I mean, the lines are blowing up after you just said that right there. So I'm going to go ahead and take a few callers here.
Okie dokie.
All right, Thunder. Thank you very much for calling in, man. You're a great listener, and you're keep listening, and we appreciate your patronage out here.
You're welcome, Ghost.
Thanks a lot. All right, we got some more callers here. Like I said, I can't believe that, this caller here, Thundercracker, who's, that's a screen name, of course, he just informed us that Obama is, and I'm hearing from other chatters here in the chat room, that's a legitimate story, that Obama wants to just kind of demean 9/11, the idea of commemorating or remembering 9/11 as a day of remembering that horrific tragedy. Yeah, I don't know. I got to take more callers here. 646, you're on the air.
Hello.
How's it going?
I think that's a good thing.
What do you think is a good thing?
That, he's remembering that day.
He's not remembering the day. He wants to get rid of it. He wants everybody to just go on with their lives.
No way, you're serious?
I'm serious. Why do you think we're getting upset about it?
Wow, that's crazy. I did not know that.
Yeah, he's trying to degrade 9/11, and apparently this is a legitimate story. We've got somebody posting links on the chat room here about this story, but Obama...
Obama still rocks.
Oh, but Obama still rocks. Who cares about the people at 9/11?
But he still rocks.
Who cares about the people at 9/11 then?
He rocks.
No, answer the question. Who cares about the people at 9/11?
Obama rocks.
Yeah, that's great. This is great liberal. Do you hear these idiots, folks? This is America. You wonder why our country's going down the tubes? Listen to
because Obama
idiots like this. Listen to this, folks. Welcome to America. Welcome to America. It's really unfortunate. And by the way, piss off for that fruity little bastard that's calling up here saying, Obama rocks. But you see, folks, this is why our country is being flushed down the proverbial toilet. Because we've got this kind of idea, it was news to me. This broadcast took a sidetrack when I was taken back by the idea that Obama's thinking about demeaning the idea or demeaning the day or the remembrance or the commemoration of 9/11? This is horrible. But you see, when I talk about these serious subject matters, this is what you get. This is the kind of response you get here in America. Hell, we're living in a day and age where in America, you can go out and literally trade your crap, or was it cash for crap, cash for junk, whatever it is. You can take an old refrigerator down to your dealership and get about $4,500 off on a damn Escalade, huh? This is Junkyard America, folks. Junkyard America. Come on down here, and we'll give you $4,500 if you bring us your old refrigerator. Yeehaw! Hey, turn that off. Turn it off. But welcome to America, folks. Welcome to America. We are now trading in junk so that we can get something off of a car. All right, so we can get prices off of a car. This is the America that we're living in, folks. It's disgusting. It's a disgrace. Anyway. All right. We're going to go with another caller here. 111 area code. You're on the air.
What I can't stand is Obama's sack just hangs to his knee.
Oh, that's great. Welcome to America, folks. Are you hearing this? This is America. This is America right here, a bunch of generic human beings that don't understand that our government and our society is being transitioned into some sort of quasi-communist socialist crap. And you've got these morons out here more worried about Michael Jackson, more worried about prank calling a conservative radio show host so they can win some brownie points in some Miss Annie Mae Rotten Crotch's pants out here, instead of worrying about their liberties, instead of worrying about their freedom. This is why America is being flushed down the damn toilet. This is why, damn it. And it makes me sick. It makes me sick to my stomach that I've lived all these years on this earth, and this is what America's turning to. This is what America is transitioning itself into, to a bunch of dumbed-down, ignorant wastes of human flesh that are more worried about the latest crotch shot of Britney Spears, that are more worried about the latest American Idol and whether Adam Lambert has a gerbil up his shit funnel. That's what you people are more worried about, and it makes me sick. Our country needs everyone to be vigilant, you idiots. We need all of you people to participate in the political system, and if you don't know it, then our country's going down. Our country's going down, and you morons don't care. You make me sick. You piece of crap! This is what you think is America, being some absent-minded moron? Sitting there and bowing down to Big Brother government, is that what you think America is? Getting a handout? America wasn't about handout, folks. America was about opportunity. I hate to keep repeating that, but America was about opportunity. And the sooner you morons continue, the sooner you morons decide that you want to get your heads out of your clogged up colon pipes and start realizing that this government was made by the people and for the people. But if the people fall asleep at the wheel, we are seeing the consequence of that very action. And it's a disgrace that no one, and I repeat, no one is talking about these issues that affect everyone here in America. And you people are bowing down. You are bowing down to your own serfdom. 646-652-4869. We got the 870 area code. You're on the air.
Hey, man, how's it going?
How's it going, man?
Obviously, you're a little stressed, but I have a few topics of interest that I'm sure that you can get a little more heated about. Number one, and I really love your show, just to start off with, the vaccine that's coming in that's already mandated in at least one state, New Hampshire. They're going to charge you $1,000 a day fine if you go into quarantine because you decide not to take the vaccine. I want to tell you just
what vaccine are you talking about? Are you talking about the swine flu?
Yes, the H1N1 or H1N1. It's mandated in at least today one state. You have to take it, or you will be taken to a quarantine camp and charged $1,000 a day. That's New Hampshire. That's passed the Senate and the House right there in Hampshire.
New Hampshire would pass something like this. This is the same state that, what is it? Isn't their motto "Live free or die"?
I thought that was everybody's motto.
I thought that was their state motto. I thought their state motto was "Live free or die," and they're actually mandating that everyone in New Hampshire take this H1 swine flu, whatever it's called, vaccine.
Yes.
This is ridiculous.
It's easily Googleable if you look it up for yourself. New Hampshire, $1,000, or just Google $1,000 a day quarantine fine. But they're going to make you take it, or they're going to charge you $1,000 a day and take you from your home in order to do this. Is just a few days ago, actually 2 or 3 days ago, that they passed this.
Unbelievable. And this was passed at the at the legislature at the New Hampshire, and it's attempted to be federally mandated.
Yes, it is absolutely intended to be federally mandated. They're just waiting for the right time. It's already, all right, let me put a few things together just before I make my final point. The World Health Organization, which we are obligated to follow because we have signed up to their mandates, it's level 6. It doesn't get any higher than that. If there was Ebola going around the country, then it would still be level 6. This has only killed about 300 people in the United States, infected just a few thousand. It's less lethal than the regular flu virus, but they're going to mandate the cocktail, which I would like to tell you about just real shortly.
Certainly.
All right, the cocktail that you're going to get stuck in your arm because the government mandates it is going to do a few things to you. And first I want to tell you just what's in this vaccine. Number one, you're going to get nerve disease through Guillain-Barré syndrome. This is on the consent form. It was in 1976 where several thousand people got this disease, and it is still today linked through Guillain-Barré for the same syndrome. But number one, you're going to get nerve disease. Number two, you're going to get the SV40. That's like Sam Victory 40 cancer virus, which is going to cause cancer when you're in your late middle age. As soon as your hormones start to change a little bit, you're going to get some form of cancer as soon as this virus is released. I encourage everybody to look up SV40 cancer virus. And additional to that, if it's not going to be that far away, you're also going to get a vaccine which has been purchased already, billions of dollars spent on the adjuvants. And look this up for you. Look it up for yourself. It's adjuvants. ADJAVNTS adjuvants, and it contains squalene. Squalene is illegal according to the Center for Disease Control. It is not allowed, but we've already purchased 120 million doses for it. Look it up. It's got squalene in it. Squalene is going to make your brain swell. It's going to make your IQ go down. It's going to possibly kill you, okay? Squalene, look it up. It's SQUALENE, squalene, an adjuvant. And additionally, further than that, as if that wasn't bad enough, that there's an illegal substance in it, it's already confirmed it's going to have thimerosal in it. Thimerosal is mercury, and I'm sure most of you already know that, but mercury destroys neurons. It dissolves the structure of the neuron and will prevent you permanently, because mercury is very difficult to get out of your system. It's gonna make your, exactly like I'm saying now, it's gonna make your pause, and then I think about it. I've had vaccination. It's gonna make your neurons not be able to very easily make connections with other neurons for the rest of your life, but also get rid of your neurons that you have now.
Unbelievable, sir. And do you have any show or anything you need to plug here? Because we're going to take some other callers here.
No, I don't have any show. I just want all of y'all to look it up for yourselves. Thanks for your call, man.
I really appreciate it. I really appreciate this call. And as a matter of fact, some of the listeners that were listening in to the commentary that you were just listening to, and thank you for calling, by the way, they wanted to correct the program here that it's not New Hampshire that is mandating this bill to mandate a mass vaccination of the S1 swine flu virus. It's actually Massachusetts, thanks to the Revolution 1776, who just PM'd me on that. And the failure to do that, according to this bill, it is 6 months in prison and a $1,000 fine. And, the bill does state, without a warrant or arrest, they're going to come in there and quarantine your ass without a doubt. And let me tell you, there's so much garbage. There's so much garbage that this regime and this government and all kinds of factions that are trying to do to the American people, and the American people don't seem to give a rat's ass. And this is why I've been up on here for 2 years trying to state this, folks. It's not a damn Republican thing. It's not a Democrat thing. It's an American thing. And the American people have to hold the government accountable for what they do. But if the American people are not going to do so, then consequently we are going to get exactly what we deserve, folks. And it's not like folks like myself and other people that are out there attempting to spark synapses in the brains of people out there. It's not like we didn't tell you. And this is why I continue to say, folks, this is America. This is freedom. I mean, we can do whatever we want. I mean, why are we selling ourselves out to this socialist crap? Why are half of the people in America getting on their knees bowing down to a picture of Karl Marx? I just don't understand it. I mean, why are people insisting that we continue to give out handouts, huh? Tax the American people and continue to give out handouts to the losers in America. This is a liberal idea. This is a liberal ideology to sit here and continuously tax hard-working American people just so that they can go out and let the losers live lavish, huh? Oh, yeah, that's what I said every single day that I came up on here to do a broadcast, folks. I have said this, folks. I've been consistent. And I'm an American, damn it. I'm a conservative, damn it! And I'm not going to sit here and continue to allow everyone out there to stick a Kentucky Fried Chicken grease thumb up their shit funnels and watch America fall down in communist and socialist despair without me coming up on here and conducting broadcasts, writing blogs, going into chat rooms, writing in forums, doing whatever it takes to make people understand that communism and socialism is not the way to go. It's not the way to go, damn it! It's not what our forefathers wanted, you piece of crap. That's not what it says in the Constitution. And what's really unfortunate is that you got most people out here in America that don't even give two rat's asses about the Constitution. They don't even really give a rat's ass. Makes me sick to my stomach. Anyway, folks, 646-652-4869 is the number to call here. 111 area code, you're on the air.
Should Pete Rose be allowed in the Hall of Fame?
Hey, get on your other computer, you stupid prank-calling ass clown, wish you had a clue-looking piece of liberal trash. Unbelievable. Do you see what I'm getting here, folks? This is why America is being flushed down the toilet. I mean, I'm talking about serious, passionate political subject matters that affect all of our lives. And what do we have? We've got agitators, liberal agitators, and if not disenchanted, ignorant, star-fetished youths that are calling up to the program in an attempt to deviate everyone's conscience from the true subject matters at hand to something that was just ridiculous. All right? It's ridiculous, folks. And this is the America that you folks want to live in, where we have to probably wake up each morning and, play with our pecker shafts to an idol of Karl Marx and Frederick Engels? Because of what, folks? I mean, it's no wonder why, and I said this on previous shows, that we have this Woodstock commemoration. Oh, yeah, dude, 40 years of Woodstock, peace, love, and music, dude. I mean, that Woodstock, that ridiculous idea, was nothing more than a communist propaganda. That was communist propaganda. Oh, yeah, the stupid little hippies, they thought they were having a good time listening to music, sitting there in the little mud pit orgies, dropping acid, shooting up cocaine, shooting up heroin, smoking the Magic Dragon, and all this crap. Meanwhile, they were out here being fed by some unknown authority, huh? That's right, they were lining up to get granola gruel. That's right. They were like, please give me some granola gruel. And everyone that came up to that ridiculous little microphone was saying, oh, man, if you're not finished with whatever you're eating, then pass it on to your brother and sister to the left of you and to the right of you, dude. And then drop some more acid. And then have some more orgies in the mud pit. Woo! Rock and roll! Well, that's what these damn stupid long-haired hippies have done. And now they're trying to sell their children and their great-grandchildren and their great-great-grandchildren into socialist and communist bondage. And I'm not going to sit there and allow it to happen without me saying something about it, damn it. And I'm talking about the youth of America. I know that I've got a lot of youth, a lot of young people calling up my program, attempting to, I don't know, win brownie points amongst their friends, trying to do a prank call on the program. But what these young people need to understand is that I'm talking for you. I'm talking for the young people that are out there that are being screwed by their parents, that are being screwed by this generation of baby boomers. And let me tell you, folks, I grew up with these pricks. They're ungrateful, selfish pieces of garbage, all right? And what they're doing is basically throwing their children, their great-great-great-great-great-great-grandchildren into wood chippers just so that they can live a lavish life. And I've talked about this several different times, and I don't mean for this show to go off on a sidetrack, but it needs to be emphasized and re-emphasized and re-emphasized. You've got these poor young people out here being forced, being brainwashed into going and obtaining some sort of, college degree. And then, lo and behold, they go and get a college degree, and they're in debt $70,000 before they even enter into the employment game. And then what? And then these poor children that get these college educations and are in debt $70,000, they come into a economic system that doesn't even have any economic opportunity. All right? We're in a service industry-oriented economy where there's no jobs whatsoever. And they're supposed to pay back their $70,000 in debt for life, and that's student loan debt, folks. I mean, we've talked about student loans. You have to pay that for life, and if you don't, they'll throw you in jail for the crap. And, these baby boomers, when you look at the lack of jobs that are happening here in America, when you look at the lack of employment opportunity in America, you ask these baby boomers, hey, don't you feel kind of guilty, baby boomers? Don't you feel kind of guilty for leaving your children some piss-poor employment and economy? And you know what baby boomers say to me on the internet and on forums? Hey, nobody told them that we're going to get guaranteed long-term employment. Nobody guaranteed them anything. That's what these baby boomers say, huh? They don't really care about their children, folks. And this is why, and I encourage anyone who is born 1978 or sooner, and I'm even willing to push back that date, maybe 1975 or sooner, you need to get off your dumb, materialistic, star-fetished ass and start realizing that you don't have the economic opportunities that your mom and dad had because they're not around anymore, all right? They're not around anymore. When you're out there trying to look for a job and you're finding out that these high-paying jobs that mommy and daddy had for 30 or 40 years, they're not around anymore, all right? They're not around anymore whatsoever. And lo and behold, what happens? You are sitting there with your pink willy in your hand, $70,000 in student loan debt, looking for a $10 or $12 an hour job. I swear to God, folks, I'm going into Starbucks coffee shops, and I'm talking to people who've got master's degrees that are sitting there mixing up my damn coffee. This is America. This is America right here. And on top of all that, these baby boomers insist on these children. These baby boomers insist on these children to continue to pay Social Security. I mean, it's like beating a dead horse with these damn topics and subject matters, folks, but this is the liberal agenda, and I am not going to sit here and continue to take it and go quietly in that good night. And if you're a legitimate American, if you're a true American, if you believe in this country and believe in freedom and the Constitution, then you shouldn't sit by and take it either. This should be your starting point. This should be your catapult into the political system, because everyone should be participating in the American political system. Everyone one should be participating in this great scheme of bureaucratic nonsense that creates ourselves a great society, but no one's involved in it whatsoever. None of the American people even want to bother with political systems or politics or anything of that matter. They want to feed their fat asses. They want to go out and get the latest threads. They want to go out and finance $250,000 homes on $25,000 a year incomes. They want to do all this ridiculous malarkey, and yet they don't want to be held accountable for their own decisions. And it's horrific. Unbelievably horrific, folks. I mean, we went from America, 20, 30 years ago, America was the bastion of capitalism. It was the bastion of success and freedom. Now what is America? What is America, folks? I mean, think about it for a second. What the hell is America, since we're sitting here now under the new liberal regime's cash for crap program? I mean, I hate to keep re-emphasizing it, but we're the damn junkyard. I mean, we're the damn junkyard. I mean, give me a damn break. I mean, let's go ahead and bring down Red Fox and have him say, "Hey, baby, come on down here to your nearest car dealer and bring yourself your old refrigerator. Come on down and bring yourself your old microwave." Can't even talk like that bastard. Anyway, you get the point, folks. I mean, I'm sitting here trying to do a damn Red Fox imitation, damn near tearing my voice, but I want you to get the point! I can't re-emphasize it any longer. If you got something to say, please give me a call at 646-652-4869, folks. I mean, I just don't know how else to emphasize it. I know that the American public sucks. I know that the American people are a bunch of ignorant buffooneries. I know that the American people are more worried about searching for their latest porn than searching for their latest news and information. But by God, this goddamn country is going to be flushed down the toilet if nobody does anything about it, you piece of crap! Don't you understand that, you piece of you piece of crap! I mean, I'm angry! I'm goddamn angry! Do you feel my anger? Do you feel my rage and fury? It's because no one's listening! It's because everybody thinks everything's going to be all right if they just sit back and go puff on a magic dragon, if they just go out and have a few more drinks, if they just go out and be materialistic pigs. No one is listening, damn it! Sometimes I have to take a step back sometimes. I just got to take a step back, take some deep breaths, and try to give myself a quasi-shrink session and say, you know what, Ghost? Why even bother? I mean, why are you even doing this? And, I try to conjure up some kind of memorable statement, I try to come back and say, I'm doing it because I want the children to have a better future. I'm doing it because I want a better America. But, folks, I'm trying, folks. I've been on here for 2 years. I have politically prognosticated things that have come to pass. And, folks, nobody gives a crap. And I'm already, a little long in the tooth, I'm not saying I'm going to be here for the next 30 or 40 years. All right? I know that for a fact already. But I cannot leave this earth knowing that you ungrateful people that did nothing to salvage this impending doom that you are throwing upon future generations, that you did nothing about it. And I'm glad that these broadcasts, all right, I'm surprised that these broadcasts, and I'm not surprised, I'm glad that these broadcasts are time-dated and stamped. I'm glad that they're on the record, because when historians look back upon this time, when historians look back and see, was there anyone out there attempting to let the people know that their freedom was being taken right from under them? I mean, was there anyone out there foreseeing the impending danger that was upon the American human existence? And I want them to look back upon the True Conservative radio program, and I want them to realize that there was people out here saying something about this crap. Not everybody was paladin this Karl Marx malarkey, all right? Not everybody was bowing down and putting their pecker shafts into some sort of red book somewhere. Not everybody was doing that crap, all right? I mean, I'm serious. Not everybody was doing this garbage. Anyway, 646-652-4869 is the number to call. You're listening to True Conservative Radio. I am your host, the man they call Ghost. We are in the second hour of the True Conservative Radio program. I want to thank everyone, first and foremost, before I go on any further with the program. Thank you for tuning in with me. And before we go on any further, folks, please bookmark the blog at ghostpolitics.blogspot.com and make sure to run some comments out there. If you appreciate some of the blog commentary, if you don't appreciate the blog commentary, comment on the son of a bitch and let's hear about it. Let's hear what the hell you have to say in opposition of what I attempt to facilitate on that blog. ghostpolitics.blogspot.com. And, of course, folks, follow me on Twitter. It's the best way to figure out when I'm going to conduct a live broadcast, so you can come up here and chill with us here in the chat room here. Ghost Politics, it's the same thing, twitter.com/ghostpolitics. And, of course, folks, the official website for the True Conservative Radio program, blogtalkradio.com/ghost. Now, before I went off on that tirade about a whole bunch of subject matters, we were talking about Ted Kennedy. And we were talking about how his death is going to impact the supposed supremacy of the liberal regime that's currently in power. Because Teddy Kennedy's death, the cocky-ass Democrats like Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi can no longer talk that supermajority filibuster overriding vote that they were touting a couple of days ago on some of the political programs. They're not going to be able to sit here and say, oh, you know what, you little Republicans can continue to filibuster. We're going to go ahead and we're going to have a supermajority vote of 60 to shut your little filibuster up. Well, Teddy Kennedy's death has completely rained on that parade, folks. Now, once again, folks, just because, and I'm talking about all the people that are in opposition of what the liberal regime is currently proposing as a health care reform system, I don't want you to think that we should have a parade because they lost their majority to supersede a Republican filibuster. Because what's going to happen here is there's going to be some wheeling and dealing. The political games are going to begin. And there's going to be some pork barrel spinning. There's going to be some under-the-table dealings out here. And the American public is going to continue to get screwed. The only difference is that we're not going to have the government involved, or maybe not as much government involvement when it comes to the healthcare system. But either way, folks, I don't like what's being proposed. I think that it should be halted at all cost. All right? I think that this damn idea of healthcare reform, as long as the liberals are initiating it, it should be halted at all cost. I mean, if you're a Republican senator or Republican congressman, I think that you need to, table it. You need to add amendments to it. You need to do whatever it takes to stop it. And I don't think anything should be done with health care unless you're going to get the insurance companies out of health care. And no one's talking about that. No one's talking about let's have the insurance companies on the patient's end get the hell out of the patient's end. Why are patients paying for health insurance? I just don't understand this crap. I mean, it should be privatized. I mean, someone should be able to go up and pay out of pocket. The thing about it is, you want to take a good example of what I'm speaking of. Take a look at the cosmetic surgery industry once again. And I hate to keep harping on it, but it's completely privatized. I think up until a couple of years ago, the insurance companies had nothing to do with cosmetic surgery. Now, if you happen to have breast cancer or some kind of disfiguring disorder, I believe that some health insurance companies actually pay for some reconstructive cosmetic surgery. But for the most part, folks, the cosmetic surgery industry is a private industry. You have to come out of the pocket to get a nose job. You actually have to come out with some Benjamins to get an ass implant. All right, you have to actually come out with some cold hard cash to get a boob job, folks. And back in the 80s, when cosmetic surgery finally started taking its step upward, it was $20,000. $20,000 to get a boob job, to get a breast enhancement, to be politically correct about it. $20,000. Nowadays, folks, because of the supply and demand factor, because of the whole idea of the market, a boob job is now $2,000. A breast augmentation is $2,000 in this country. So what really gets me and what really makes me sick is that some ditzy bimbo can go out and get her tits enhanced to a D cup cheaper than someone can go and get a cancer tumor cut out of them, or their arteries unclogged, or a broken limb fixed. I mean, do you understand that there's something severely and sincerely wrong with that? And there's nobody talking about this crap. We're just continuously talking about how everybody needs coverage. Everybody needs coverage. The hell does that mean, coverage? I don't want the insurance company in charge of me. And I don't want the insurance company dictating the prices of procedures. And that's what they're doing. That's the whole concept of insurance companies. All right? I mean, whenever you have insurance, when you think you have good insurance, that means that they're willing to pay so much money for certain procedures. That means that they already have capped the amount of money that every doctor is going to make on every single procedure done to those health insurance patients. So they've rigged the game. So if you're a doctor trying to come up after medical school, not only do you have to worry about your own insurance, which of course is going to cost you an astronomical rate because of all these dumbass, imbecilic, malpractice suits. Not to say that malpractice suits aren't legitimate, but, some broad, I read on the Associated Press, had 12 teeth pulled out of her head, all right, when she only needed 3 teeth pulled out of her head, all right? But because the dentist screwed up and pulled 12 teeth out of her head, some stupid jury decided to give her $25 million. And you have to think that some insurance company on the doctor's end actually has to pay that. And if they're not going to pay that, they got to pay for the legal fees that entails to appeal that $25 million verdict. And this is why doctors have to pay so much. I heard that 45 to 50% of doctors' revenue goes to their malpractice insurance. All right? So they definitely need help when it comes to tort reform. And on top of that, the doctor has to maneuver or somehow scheme. I shouldn't say scheme, that's a bad word, but he has to somehow rig himself profitability for his practice based upon the preset limits for every medical procedure set forth by the insurance companies and Medicare and Medicaid. And I know this is a very complicated process, folks, but this is why every time that you need to go and get yourself checked out, whether it's screened for cancer, screened for heart disease, you have to go and drink that chalky white crap. You still got to drink that chalky-ass white crap, and, they put all that ridiculous dye into your body, and they're giving you a CAT scan. Folks, CAT scans are 70s technology, all right? 1970s technology. Now, why are hospitals still diagnosing, and doctors diagnosing patients with heart disease and cancers with CAT scans, which is 7D technology, folks, because they can't afford to purchase the new technologies that are out there that can diagnose potential ailments before they even happen, years before they even happen. They can't afford to keep up to date with technology because they can only make so much per procedure. So if they're only going to get so much per CAT scan from every insurance company, and they're only going to get so much per CAT scan from Medicaid and Medicare, then they can't afford to buy a new machine. And, this is what I keep telling folks out here, that are trying to fight against the liberal regime's healthcare system. I agree, we should fight against it. But you shouldn't be sitting here saying, well, I'm happy with my coverage. I'm happy with my coverage. You shouldn't be happy with any coverage. All right? You should be saying, I don't want the insurance companies to be in my health system. It's disgusting. And you've got people selling their souls, these liberal long-hairs selling their souls, trying to initiate this ridiculous idea of health reform. And, the best that the liberals could come up with is this idea of a public option, And I know that we've gone over this before, folks, but health care is really on the issue. I mean, Obama is going all in on health care. If nothing comes out of this health care initiative, it's going to make Obama look like the most ridiculous piece of garbage president that ever existed. And I'm not saying that because I don't agree with the man. I think that he can read a teleprompter great. Some woman called into my show 2 years ago, said she was going to vote for the man because he has nice teeth. And I agree, yeah, great, he's got nice veneers or whatever he's got. I mean, great. But inevitably, folks, the Clintons, all right, the institutionalism that is the Clintons nullified the authority that Barack Obama has over the presidency by Bill Clinton going to North Korea and negotiating foreign policy de facto for the United States. Because once again, folks, the Obama administration had no idea Bill Clinton was going to North Korea, regardless of what dumbass liberal is going to sit here and shove down your hole. If they knew about it, then why was Robert Gibbs stumbling over his own tongue like John Edwards trying to explain hospice adultery when it came to that press conference that morning? How come he didn't know what the hell to say? Because he didn't know that Bill Clinton was going out there. This was a pure political move, folks. There is a bureaucratic struggle for power within the liberal regime. And I don't give a crap if it's the Republican Party, but we need some kind of secondary party to come in and capitalize off this rift. All right? Because let me tell you, this institutionalism of liberalism that's basically dictating our lives, they're not listening to Barack Obama. I know all these dumbass idiots in America who sold their souls to this cult of personality are out here listening to him and believe that he's the almighty, but the institutionalism that is our bureaucratic system doesn't legitimize his authority. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. So, right off the bat, Obama is putting everything on the table when it comes to this health care bill. And if it doesn't pass, folks, it's just going to nullify him as a ridiculous president that couldn't get anything done. I mean, here you have to understand, Obama is a liberal, and he has the presidency. And not only does he have the presidency, but the liberals have the House and the Senate. They've got a majority of votes of House and the Senate. So that means that he should be able to just shove legislation in there and tell these damn bureaucrats to initiate legislation, and it should be passing within a snap, right? I mean, this is why everybody was so critical about Barack Obama the first 100 days or up to now, up to this point, because he has a full-fledged majority, and he was touting all this change. Remember that? Oh, change, yeah. I mean, that's what he kept touting, right? Now the only thing people have is change in their pockets, because this liberal regime has not initiated any legitimate economic progress, or hasn't initiated anything to help facilitate a better landing from this economic contraction. And once again, instead of focusing on the economy, this idiot tries to sit here and say healthcare reform. If we fix healthcare, we're going to fix the economy. I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. I think healthcare needs to be fixed, folks. But if you're touting yourself as a man and woman of the people, like most of these liberals like to tout themselves as, you would think that they would get rid, since they've got the power, since the liberals have all the power, you would think that they would get rid of these insurance companies, but they don't. They don't. Unbelievable. And I hate to keep beating a dead horse here, but, you know, cosmetic surgery industry, $2,000 to get breast implants. And I've got someone in this chat room saying that it's for a biopsy for one breast. A biopsy for cancer or some ailment for one breast, $9,000 someone was billed out here. This is the American health system, folks. This is it. Welcome to America. This is why I continue to come up on here and conduct these broadcasts in hopes of sparking synapses to people out there, because it's these types of conversations, folks, that change communities. It changes states. It changes countries. You know, I mean, believe it or not, political discussions are an integral portion of facilitating a proper society. I mean, it takes discourse at the table whenever you're out there for Thanksgiving and Christmases and birthdays. It's good to initiate these types of political discussions, because even though you're not going to change the mind of the person you're debating, those that are sitting around observing the debate are going to be influenced, folks. I guarantee you they are going to be influenced. So this is why I continue to say that you, as an American citizen, have an obligation to go out there and to continue to assert political discussions, political commentary, political opinions. I encourage everyone to go out and get a blog, all right? Go out and get a blog and just blog your asses off, all right? Try to unearth the contradictions that are within this system, that are within this liberal regime. That's what I attempt to do every single time I conduct a broadcast, is unearth, open up, and expose the contradictions that are within the liberal regime. And there are many of them. There are too many of them to count. And this is why I continue to do these broadcasts, folks. I love America, all right? I love the old America. All right? America built this whole economic world system. And now the world system is eating up America. I mean, just think about that comment for just 1 second. America built this world economic system, and now the world economic system is eating America. Nobody stops to think about that. You know, they always talk about, oh, this is a global economy. This is a global economy. Well, how did it become global? We made it global. The American business community made this economy global. And now the same people that turned this economy global are trying to tell the American people, sorry, you're going bankrupt, and in 9 years you're going to have $9 trillion in new debts, and 75% of the gross domestic product in 10 years is going to be America's debt. It's just a fact of life. That's what these idiots are having to swallow out here in America. I mean, it's very frightening, folks. I don't want to be one of these ass clowns that are trying to be doomsdayists and, fearmongers like that idiot Alex Jones or, that moron David Icke and the reptilian people and all these conspiracy theorists out here. I base all my prognostications and I base all my commentary based on legitimate fact. And this is why a lot of the political prognostications that I have prognosticated on this program have come to pass, folks. All right, I'm not trying to toot my own horn here, but beep, beep. And I just hope that you folks can sit there and take some of this commentary and realize that not everybody in America is a damn buffoonery, all right? Not everybody in America wants to, take advantage of the government teat and suck as much as they can out of it. I mean, not everyone out here believes that they deserve something from their government. I deserve a handout. Please give me another stimulus package check, please. I mean, this is the America that wasn't about handouts. It was about opportunity. You know? I mean, it's about opportunity, folks. Let's bring that back. Let's bring back opportunity instead of handouts. Huh? Let's bring back old, small businesses instead of government bureaucratic systems. And if you're a small business owner, folks, I'm with you. I mean, I belong to my local Chamber of Commerce, and I am seeing mom-and-pop shops that were around for 2 or 3 generations go and bust, having to go down there to the unemployment line and go back to work again because of this ridiculous service industry-based economy, and all the individuals that are providing products for everyone in America are nothing more than a multinational corporation that gave America the finger a long time ago, and we need a government that's competent enough to put these damn multinational corporations back on the negotiating table and force them to admit whether or not they are for America or against America. Because remember, a lot of these multinational corporations that were built right here in America, they're going out for bigger markets, like in China or India, South America. That's what these multinational corporations are doing, folks. But we got to bring them back down to size. We got to bring them back down to the negotiating table and say, hey, wait a minute, where does your loyalty lie? Where does your loyalty lie? Does it lie here in America? Does it lie here in the blood that was spilt for your multinational corporation to be successful? Is your loyalty here with the American consumer that built your stupid, ridiculous empire? Or are you going to go out there to China? Or are you going to go out there to India? It's ridiculous, folks. This is why everyone, and I do mean everyone, if you happen to be a young person, by God, go out there and get political. All right? If you're going to take anything from that ridiculous communist propaganda film, Woodstock, 3 Days of Peace and Love, whatever that crap was, if you're going to take anything from that ridiculous spectacle Woodstock, take the fact that those idiots, even though they're a bunch of long-haired Karl Marx worshiping pieces of leftist trash, they still were political. And that's what I'm calling upon everyone. Old, young, fat, skinny, it doesn't matter what you are, get political. Go out there and protest. Go out there and talk to your congressman. Go out there and talk to your senator. Go out there and create a blog. Go to the forums. Go to the chat rooms, folks. Unearth the contradictions. I hate to keep saying it, but unearth those damn contradictions, folks. Anyway, folks, I'm going to go ahead and cut the program short here in about 7 minutes. But I want to thank everybody for tuning in with me. I just wanted to have a few things said about Ted Kennedy and his death and how it affects the supposed super authority that these dumbass liberals thought they were going to have, and they don't. And lo and behold, we're here. This is an exciting but precarious time for America, and I'm calling upon everyone, all right? I'm calling upon everyone in this country, everyone within the sound of my voice, to go out and participate in this government. And I know that that's what Barack Obama said, and of course you had a bunch of Nimrods listen to him. But what they did is, they looked at Barack Obama, and I hate to, pull a word out of the damn McCain campaign, because he's just as liberal. But he was a little rock star, right? He was a little movie star, huh? Yeah, the star fetish public needed some political figure to circle jerk themselves to, huh? And they found it in Barack Obama, a man who could read a teleprompter and make women cry by making them believe that they're going to pay that he's going to pay their mortgage, that he's going to pay their gas bills. I mean, this is what America has fallen itself victim to, folks. We're stupid. We're ignorant. I mean, we live in a day and age where most people have an internet connection, and yet they still aren't well informed. They're still ignorant. I mean, don't you understand that with the internet you have a million upon million libraries at your fingertips? You can find out anything that you ever wanted to know on the internet. And what are people using the internet for, folks? They're using it for pornography. They're using it to lure pre-teenage young kids so they can become, to catch up predator victims. I mean, they're out there becoming sick, demented perverts. They're out there going on eHarmony and Match.com trying to, sit there and become some internet online cyber pimp. It's ridiculous! It's disgusting! This is why I'm so critical of the American people, and this is why I scream with fury. This is why I say what I mean what I say, and I call upon all the American people to get up and start standing up for their rights. Stand up for your rights, damn it! This is not a joke. This is not a joke. If you're a true conservative, or if you're a true American, and you believe in the American way, remember that? Remember that? Superman used to say that. Truth, justice, and the American way. What's the American way now, huh? Quasi-socialist communist horse crap. And the only way we're going to take it back, folks, is if you do your part by going out and initiating political discussions, initiating political discourse. We need you, folks. Get off the sidelines. Get on the front lines. And unearth all the contradictions that are within this liberal and feminist system, because if we don't, we're going to be doomed, and our country's going to be flushed down the toilet, and we're going to be owned by China. We're going to be owned by India, and it's going to be sick. It makes me sick. Do something, for Christ's sake. Don't just sit there. Do something. Do something for your children, for America, for the future generations. They're calling on you. They're calling on you. They're calling on you, and they need you. They need you now more than ever, damn it. Anyway, folks, I want to thank everybody for tuning in with me live here in the broadcast. I do not know when I'm going to conduct another broadcast, folks, so the best way to figure it out is to follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/ghostpolitics. That's the best way to find out when I'm going to conduct another broadcast, because these broadcasts are sporadic. All right? And another thing, folks, I'm going to be blogging throughout the entire weekend here, starting right after this program. So I encourage you to please bookmark and frequent the blog as much as possible. All right? ghostpolitics.blogspot.com. And once again, folks, that's ghostpolitics.blogspot.com. And when you visit there, patronize some of the sponsors. Help out the True Conservative Radio program and patronize some of the sponsors. It's just a freaking click. Ass clowns. Anyway, also don't forget to bookmark the official website of the True Conservative Radio program, and that is blogtalkradio.com/ghost. All right, that's the official website of the True Conservative Radio program. We got 1 minute and counting. I want to thank everybody for tuning in with me. Please help spread the word about the True Conservative Radio program. Tell your mom, tell your dad, your grandpa, your grandma, your aunts, your uncles, your friends, your cousins, your sisters, your brothers. Tell everybody you know about the True Conservative Radio program. And don't forget to email people you know about this program, because, folks, It takes this type of commentary of real serious political discourse to change minds, to spark political synapses in people's brains, to make people get out of this cloud of cult of personality that is Obama, that is liberal regime, that is feminism, and all these other communist offshoots. We need to bring them back down to size and realize that it's always been, always has been, and always will be about freedom. It'll be about liberty. Until my dying death, I will continue to tout those two words until my dying day. Freedom and liberty. Freedom and liberty, freedom and liberty, and leave my show knowing that I am a true patriot for the original American idea, and I will not let it die, folks, and I don't want you to let it die either. Anyway, folks, follow me on Twitter. Ghost Politics is the name, Ghost Politics. Anyway, folks, thank you very much for tuning in with me. Patronize the sponsors. Long live the true conservative movement, and death to feminism.
Boar's Head is bringing a slice of Japan to the deli. Introducing Boar's Head Ichiban Teriyaki-style chicken. Tender, slow-roasted chicken breast, coated in our signature teriyaki glaze, where ginger, garlic, and a hint of brown sugar meet for a flavor that's both sweet and savory. New Boar's Head Ichiban Teriyaki-style chicken. The bold flavor of Japan. Now at the deli. Only from Boar's Head. Compromise elsewhere.